Welcome to the great city of Toronto, the host city for our 2014 International Convention. Now, we warmly honor and welcome our past international presidents. (1982-83) Edward J. Feinstaff, United States. 1985-86, Joseph L. Robleski, United States. (1987-88), Judge Ryan Stevenson, Canada. (1988-89), Austin P. Jennings, United States. 1990-91, William L. Biggs, United States. (1992-93, Rohit C. Mehta, India. (1993-94, James T. Coffey, United States. (1994-95, Professor Dr. Giuseppe Grimaldi, Italy. (1998-99, Kajit Avanananda, Thailand. (1999-2000, James E. Irvin, United States. (2001-2002, J. Frank Moore III, United States. 2003-2004, Tae-Suk Lee, Republic of Korea. 2004-2005, Clement Kuziak, United States. 2005-2006, Ashok Mehta, India. 2006-2007, Jimmy M. Ross, United States. 2007-2008, Mahendra Amarasuriya, Sri Lanka. 2008-2009, Al Brandel, United States. 2010-2011, Sid L. Scruggs III, United States. 2011-2012, Wing Kong Tan, China, Hong Kong. 2012-2013, Wayne A. Madden, United States. Lions, please recognize our past international presidents.
Now let's give a round of applause to our past presidents that have dedicated themselves to Lions like nobody else. Let's hear it for our singers and dancers. I think they really put on a good show too. Immediate past President Madden, executive officers, members of the board, distinguished past presidents, Lions, Leos and friends, I am pleased to call to order the 97th International President Convention. I'm feeling 97, that's all. Isn't it great to be a Lion? How do you like Toronto? Isn't this such a great city? The people are friendly, the food is outstanding, and everywhere you go you run into lions and construction. It's like they've been waiting for us. We'll have some fun here at the plenaries over the next 3 days. We hope to inspire you, to fill you with pride, and as a Lion, so that when you return home, you'll be more ready and able to serve than you ever have before. I'm now going to call forward Past International Director, Sonny Pulley, to give the invocation. Sonny?
Please assume an attitude of prayer and introspection. Let this image of your God and energy enter your heart. Thank you, Creator, for this special opportunity as Lions from around the world to come together in fellowship, to learn from each other, and to celebrate all that has been accomplished this past year under the leadership of our International President, Barry Palmer. Give us the strength, passion, and compassion to continue to make a lasting difference in our communities and in our world. May today there be peace. May you each trust that you are exactly where you were meant to be. May you always imagine and remember the infinite possibilities that you were born with and those around you. May there be peace on earth. May children everywhere have the food, the education, and most of all, the love they need. May we as Lions work together to make all things possible. I ask that you help us appreciate the beauty around us, to help us find the best in ourselves and others, to always dream big, to continue to give of ourselves. Help us to leave our world a little better and to help dreams come true. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Richard. I'm now pleased and honoured to introduce Mario Sergio, Minister responsible for Senior Affairs.
Welcome to Toronto. Happy Sunday morning.
日曜日の朝、おはようございます。
And thank you for having me here today. I'm very pleased to bring greetings from Premier Kathleen Wynne and the Ontario government. Your convention is truly an impressive sight. I didn't say that. One of your volunteers did, but I can attest to that. Walking in this morning, and I know you have a lot of volunteers, I met Colleen. I don't know where she is, but I know she's on the floor. She said, "Isn't this impressive?" I said, "Yes, indeed." And I said, "Where are you from?" "Oh, I belong to some 209 different clubs." And I said, "But which one are you?" "I'm the 209. I said, "Really? And how many are here today?" "Oh, some 135, 140. Somebody else told me 110, but you know what? Figures don't count. It's important that you're here, and it's wonderful to see you in Toronto, so many of you. She did say that this is the largest, and then she pointed to some young lions. She said, "This is the largest seniors gathering you will ever see." So many seniors. You know what, Colleen, whatever you are, why don't you lead the way and give yourself a wonderful hand? There she is. There she is. Your convention is truly impressive. Yes, indeed. To look around the room and see this many passionate people speaking to the drive and the vision of the Lions Club. It is an honor and a delight to welcome you to our wonderful city of Toronto and Ontario today. And I'm sure that the Deputy Mayor will be telling you more about our wonderful city. Hailing from over 209 countries, and with over 1.35 million members, Lions Clubs are truly creating better community, a better world, and leading by example. Our government shares your belief in helping everyone see a better tomorrow, that everyone deserves a healthy life, and empowering the next generation in serving local communities and protecting our planet. Your culturally diverse International Parade of Nations says a lot about your organization. It sends a message that together we are stronger, we are united and inclusive. In Ontario, we consider diversity one of our greatest strengths. We speak over 200 languages, and Ontario remains the #1 destination for newcomers in Canada. The Lions motto, I hear, is to serve. Thank you for doing exactly that. The reason I entered the public life service was to serve the people of my community. And now, as Minister responsible for Seniors Affairs, I also have the honor of working for the seniors of Ontario. Much like the driving force behind the Lions Club, to change people's lives and communities for the better. I believe that government must be a force for good in people's lives. Our government is taking an active approach to making Ontario the best place to live from childhood to retirement. We just recently celebrated the 30th anniversary of Seniors Month in Ontario. Ontario's theme for Seniors Month was Aging Without Boundaries, 30 years of celebrating seniors, in recognition of the knowledge, experience, and the lifetime contribution made to our province. Ontario is currently to approximately 2 million people over the age of 65. Over the next 2 decades, the number of seniors in Ontario is projected to more than double to 4.2 million seniors. In fact, by 2036, it is projected to pass the 4.2 million seniors. But let's not look that far. By 2016-17, we are going to have more people over the age of 65 than young people under the age of 14. Because of this, the work we do for seniors continues to be more and more important. I'm proud to say our government is moving ahead with the creation of an Ontario retirement pension plan so that everyone can retire with the dignity and financial security they do deserve. This past January marked the first anniversary of Ontario's Action Plan for Seniors. Through the Action Plan, our government is helping to address the challenges and opportunities of an aging population. We know that strong community and family relationships lead to a high quality of life for seniors. Reduced social contact or social isolation has been associated with a reduced quality of life for seniors and can also lead to poor health and depression. To help address the problem of social isolation, the Seniors Community Grant Program was introduced to give seniors more opportunities to participate in their communities. I know that volunteers is at the core of the Lions Club, and volunteers, it's one of the ways we hope to connect seniors to their community through grant program. I'm grateful for the many volunteers, many of whom are seniors that have come together for such an important cause. Getting older does not mean we lose our place in society. It does not mean we can no longer contribute to our community. Our seniors, we owe them our thanks and our gratitude and our commitment to work towards a quality of life in their latter years. That is my commitment and the commitment of our government. Congratulations on your remarkable 97 conventions, and on behalf of Premier Wynne, the Ontario government, I wish you great success. God blessing to all of you, and enjoy your stay in Toronto.
Thank you, Minister Sergio. Really appreciate you coming to be with us today. Would you join me in the centre of the stage? We have a gift for you. It's what we call our head of state gift, and it's a replica of a big statue outside our headquarters, also the WHO building in Geneva and the Carter Centre. So it's obviously depicts a young boy leading his blind father. Thank you for joining with us. I was really interested in what you had to say about seniors, and I think when I become one, I'm going to move to Canada.
We're taking the way for you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks very much. Now I'm quite pleased to introduce the Deputy Mayor of Toronto, Norm Kelly, who will welcome us to the city.
Well, ladies and gentlemen from all over the world, good morning. Bonjour. Buenos dias.
Buenos dias. スペイン語です。
Ni hao ma.
ニーホーマー、中国語でおはようと言ってるんです。
I was born into basically a unilingual Toronto. Today, over 200 languages are spoken on our streets, and I was pleased to choose 3 of them to greet you this morning. And welcome to the home of the Hockey Maple Leafs.
メープルリーフホッケーチームの本拠地にようこそ。
Basketball Raptors.
バスケットボールではラプターチームですね。
Oh, more enthusiasm.
もっと皆さん熱意を持って反応してください。
And the Lacrosse
ラクロ
Rock.
スのロックというチームですね。
It's my pleasure to bring greetings on behalf of Toronto City Council
トロント市を代
and
表して
to
ご挨拶さ
extend
せ
to
ていた
you
だきま
all
す。皆さ
their
ん
best wishes for a successful and happy event
素晴らしい
this morning,
朝を迎えられ
and
てい
as
ること
well
と思います。
to
そして
express their hope
みんなで
that
す
you'll
ね。
return for another visit, this
今
time
回ここ
perhaps
を訪れていた
more
だいてまた帰
leisurely.
った後また戻ってきてくださることを期待しており
Personally,
ます。まず個
I'm
人的に
delighted to be here.
本当に今日ここに来れて嬉しく
When
思
I
ってい
was
ま
a
す。
kid,
私が子供の頃、
it was for teams sponsored by the Lions
ライ
that
オンズ
I
にスポン
got
サー
my
された
introduction
チ
to
ーム
sports.
がありました。でそれによって私はスポーツを始めるきっかけになりました。
And it's to honor those men, and it was men,
そこにいた
males
チーム
at that time. I
男
was
性ばっ
playing
かりだったんですけれ
baseball
ども、私はその
and
野球を
hockey.
始めました。それからホッ
It
ケーも始め
it
まし
is
た。
to honor them.
本当に
Decades later, belatedly, that I chose my tie purposefully.
このネクタイをですね、
Yellow
その人たち
and
に
blue.
向けてこのネクタイを今日選んできたんです。そのライオンズでスポンサーしてくれた人たちを称えるためにこの黄色と青のネク
As
タイをしてきました。
well, in the Western, what's the word? There's an Eastern and a Western.
東と西
That's
なんていうんで
it.
すかね、
Well,
言
guess
葉が出
what?
てこないんですけれども、
I'm a Leo.
私はレオです。
So, Lions, let me hear you roar.
皆さんの叫び声を聞かせてください。
Turn that light back on. I see people.
ライトつけてください。そしたらもっと後ろに
That
持って
was
きてくれます。
wonderful. Well, one of the privileges of public life
私が
is
こうやって
that you have a
ですね
chance to
こう
thank
いった役職
people
について大変嬉しい
who
なと思
make
う
a
のは
significant contribution to the lives of others.
様々な人々の生活
First of
に
all,
貢
a
献でき
big
ることで
thank
す。
you to the organizers of this weekend's convention.
このですね1週間にわたる国際大会のですね企画に当たってくださった方々にまずお礼を言いたいと思います。
You know, looking after so many people from so many places and making sure that they get here and everything goes smoothly until they leave is no small feat. And I'm sure that we all appreciate their efforts. And a big thank you to the people in the executive of the Lions Club. These are the people that plan for tomorrow. And in my conversations with a number of the members of the executive, I've learned that not only is Lions the largest surface club in the world, but the fastest growing everywhere. And I think that's a marvelous, marvelous accomplishment. And finally, and most importantly, to each of you individually, a big thank you because you individually, as an individual, truly make a difference.
世界を変えているのです。
Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Shukran. Sheshe. And it's to you that I'm going to present this plaque to Barry Palmer. So it's presented to him, but it's through this presentation that I'm delighted to honor the individuals that collectively make up one of the greatest service clubs that this earth has ever seen.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Kelly. We appreciate you coming to join with us today. And as a small token of our gratitude, please accept this peace poster plaque painted 25 years ago by a little boy in Lebanon. And he's now a lion.
Well, that's very kind of you.
Merci beaucoup. Our first speaker today was a full-time journalist many years ago. And in covering a story in Nepal, she came upon a village. Good to hear you. There are no women or girls living in this village. And she was curious, of course, as to how could this be? And she was told, don't you know? All of them were sold to the brothels in Mumbai. Thus began a 25-year activism against human trafficking. She is the founder and president of Apniap Women Worldwide, a grassroots organization in India working to end human trafficking. She has made a great progress in her mission. She's testified before the US Senate before the passage on the Trafficking Victims Protection Act in 2000. President Bill Clinton said that her, quote, heroic efforts to assist and empower women make her a global leader. Lions, I am honored to introduce you to Richa Gupta.
Namaste. Today I'm really honored and proud to be here in the city of Toronto because the story, in a way, began in this city. I was walking the villages of Nepal when I came across rows of villages 20 years ago when I saw that there were villages which didn't have any girls from age 15 to 45. I was really shocked, I was surprised. I began to ask the men I saw in the village where the girls were. Now these villages were so remote that women had to walk for 2 hours to fetch firewood. The highways were 6 hours away. So I could not understand where all the girls would be. Some of the men who were drinking tea in the small tea shops nearby, some of the men who were playing carom would just turn away. They would not answer. Some were sheepish, some got angry, some were openly hostile, but a few answered. And they said, don't you know, they all are in Bombay. And that was surprising to me because I could not understand how little girls and young women could reach Bombay, which was 1,400 kilometers away. And as a journalist, I began to look for the answer. To my horror, I found that slavery existed in my lifetime, in my generation, in my country, in my world. I found that in these villages, there was the local village procurer who could be a brother, an uncle, a neighbor, who would go to poor starving farmers and tell them that I can get your daughter a job in the big city, I can get her a marriage, I can get her something which is better than her life here. And the farmer, who was so innocent, isolated, would let his daughter go for as little as $50, $100. And these girls, aged between 9 and 13 years old, were handed over to these people. These men would take the girls to the big cities of Kathmandu, Biratnagar, Yetoda, cluster together 3 or 4 girls, and then hand them over to some transporters. These transporters would take the girls to the border of India and Nepal, and there, wink wink, nod nod, the girls were taken across the border. And there, on the other side of the border, were the shabby lodges, the lodge keepers, who would keep the girls locked up in these lodges for 2 days, 3 days, 7 days, until their spirits were completely broken. They would subjugate them, beat them, starve them, drug them. And then these little girls were handed over to another set of transporters, put onto buses and trains, and taken to the brothels of Calcutta, Delhi, and Bombay. And the brothels, what did they look like? They were small rooms, 4 by 5 feet, with iron bars on the window, a few beds stuffed in. And these girls were then locked up in these rooms for as long as 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, and trotted out for 8 or 10 customers every night, raped repeatedly. And there, who were the people who were using these girls, exploiting them? There was the brothel manager. There was the pimp who would negotiate when these transporters would show up at the door of the brothel, who would negotiate the price of these girls. And the younger the girl, the higher the price. The more voluptuous, the higher the price. Fair skin, higher the price. And these pimps would hand over to these transporters $100, $200, and then hand them over to the brothel managers. And then these girls lost their lives. They completely lost their lives. Raped, beaten, subjugated, cigarette butts stubbed out on them, bottles shoved up their vagina by continuous customers coming and using their bodies. And finally, when they were used up, after 5 or 6 or 10 years, they were thrown out of the brothels onto the sidewalks, disease-ridden, with a couple of children, dependent on drugs and alcohol, with no end in sight, and die, not a slow death, but a quick death. They would die by the time they were 40 or 45. And the brothel managers would insist that they replace themselves with their daughters if they even wanted to live on the fringes of the brothels. And behind these brothel managers were the landlords. Behind the landlords were the organized criminal networks. I was shocked, horrified, heartbroken when I found all this was going on under my nose, and I decided to do something. And to loop back to my first sentence, that I'm really glad that I'm in Toronto City speaking about it, I spoke to a few friends and I said, I want to tell the world that this exists in our lifetime, in our generation, in our world. How do I get the story out? And the people who responded were the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. And I ended up making a documentary called The Selling of Innocence, telling the story of horror and of slavery. This was 20 years ago. And today, what has happened since the documentary is the story of hope in the middle of this truly, truly evil thing which exists in our midst. The story of hope is that the lady I featured in The Selling of Innocence, Anuradha Koirala, has one of the largest shelters in Kathmandu, in Nepal, serving girls who have been trafficked to Bombay and Delhi, rehabilitating them, sending them to schools, and also preventing other young girls from villages to be trafficked by talking to them about what is possible, and, as President Palmer said, what they can dream for and aspire for. I started Apne Aap Women Worldwide with the 22 women in prostitution in the brothels of Bombay who helped me tell the story. Today, the daughter of one of them is an animation artist. Another one is studying in a college in New York. A whole new batch of girls have now been through an Apne Aap education program and are in colleges in Bihar. So change is possible. Apne Aap is serving 18,000, but with the help of Lions Club and all the volunteers I see in the audience out there, you can translate the dreams of all these girls into reality. Now, how can this be done? The problem is not unique just to Nepal or just to India. Prostitution and sex trafficking exists all over the world, including in this very city of Toronto. Today, Canada is debating a law to save these girls and punish the pimps and johns who broker the dreams of these girls. They buy them and sell them just for profit. So Canada has a law which has been placed here for passage right now to change the law to punish the pimps and johns and to provide services to the girls and women who are victims of trafficking or at risk. These are the last girls that I want to talk to you all about. Who are these last girls? They are poor. In Canada, they could be Native American. In places like United States, they could be girls of color. They are low caste in India. And of course, they are female. There's a commonality in our inequality all over the world. Somebody who's poor and female is more likely to be exploited because she is the last. The last we have to reach out to change her life so that we can change our lives, so that we can change our communities. All of you are reading with horror about what is going on among women and girls in India. But do you know that in New York City, that in Toronto City, the same thing is happening? These girls are invisible. According to the United Nations Office for Drugs and Crime, there are 3 million women and girls who are trafficked for prostitution every year. Every year. That's not a small number. Most of them are girls between the ages of 9 and 13. Some of them have not even attained puberty. In India, the average age of entry into prostitution is between 9 and 13. In the United States, it's between 13 and 15. What happens to these girls when they are trafficked? What happens when a girl is raped repeatedly? I want you all to shut your eyes and imagine that girl for just 30 seconds. A girl who has to subject herself to a John who could be 20 years older than her, who could be disease-ridden, who could be much, much heavier than her, who may not have had a bath, who may be stinking, he may be angry, he may be violent, and the girl cannot say no. Imagine her sitting on the bed waiting for that John, just for 30 seconds. She is the girl that we have to try and reach. In our lifetime, we have managed to change things around. In our generation, we have had no world wars. We have also seen that slavery has ended. Apartheid in South Africa has ended. Mankind has progressed. The Berlin Wall has come down. But girls and women are still being trafficked. They are still being locked up in basements, in small apartments, in brothels, in shabby lodges, all over the world. In America, there is something called the Minnesota Pipeline. The Minnesota Pipeline is the pipeline to traffic girls from Minnesota to New York. And who are these girls? They are young, 14-year-old, blonde, blue-eyed girls who Johns in New York want to buy. They promise them all kinds of goodies. They say they will be their sugar daddies. But their lives end up in the same way as the girls in Bombay. Used up, disease-ridden, with a couple of children, thrown out, with no life skills, no education, suffering from psychosocial trauma, and no idea how to even die with dignity. Many of you may have heard that some women choose to be in prostitution. Nobody chooses to be born poor. Nobody chooses to be born a person of color or low caste or a female. Prostitution is absence of choice. And there are traffickers out there who start from recruiters and they go on to transporters, agents, middlemen, brothel managers, landlords, pimps, and organized criminal networks. The United Nations Office for Drugs and Crime says it is the third largest crime in the world today. They say that at present, 27 million people, most of them women and girls, are enslaved even as I speak, with more being trafficked every day. They also say it's a multi-billion-dollar business, third or maybe second to drugs and arms trading. For many of you who know about the history of slavery, you will understand the dangers of slavery. A new slavery is emerging. President Clinton has called it modern-day slavery. We only have to recognize it, that this too is slavery, and the choices that women are making are not really choices. It is taking advantage of their absence of choices. So I appeal to all of you to think about who would make a choice to sell her body, who would make a choice to be raped commercially again and again, because prostitution is, after all, commercial rape. That person is someone who's beyond the pale, who's living in an inner city, is a person of color, is born to a Native American family, the school is far away, there are legal justice systems which fail to protect her, she's probably anemic, doesn't get enough food. Today, our challenge, and you all are the biggest service voluntary organization in the world. And I am so thrilled that you've invited me to come and speak to you, because you are volunteers and you can change this around. You can do two things. One is that if you are in Canada, you can write to your member of parliament, to your senator, to ask them to make sure that C-36 law passes. The other thing that you can do is, as a service delivery organization, is look for the last girl in your neighborhood and see how you can invest in her education, in her livelihood training, and legal protection, so that her lack of choices becomes real choices. She gets an education and she can become a doctor, a scientist, a lawyer, or even a mountaineer, like the people, the young women from Nepal today who are here to talk about how they climb Mount Everest. She can do any of the things if we create those choices for her. Every Lions Club in every district can take on the task of setting up a center for that last girl, and I can help you. Apne aap, my organization can help you. There are organizations in your city, in your countries, wherever you work, who work on this issue. Partner with them, I can introduce you to them. The other thing that you all can do is also stop men from buying sex. Don't be silent when you know that there's a party going on, that some friend you know, the neighbor you know is buying sex. Tell him it's not cool to be a John, and the consequences to a girl or a woman who may even say that she chose to be in prostitution is actually sex trafficking. Somebody took advantage of her absence of choices, of her vulnerabilities. Say no. Be a cool man who doesn't buy sex. Apne Aap has a campaign called Cool Men Don't Buy Sex. And I invite all the Lions today to join it and see and speak and stop being silent. Share our dream. Share the dreams of the young girls you know who are in those villages, who are those in those inner cities, who also want to be just like you, businesswomen, professionals, doctors, lawyers, teachers, rocket scientists, chartered accountants. start small businesses. You have started a program to do microcredit. What about helping that young girl access that microcredit? How are we going to reach her so that she too gets the financial literacy, the education to be able to use the loan to turn it into a positive choice? If her community changes, then business will thrive, countries will thrive, there will be stability, and all of us can work together with shared dreams and shared hopes and shared goals. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you for sharing. I'm sure your passion has come through to the Lions, and thank you for sharing that wisdom with us today. I know the Lions out here, and I'm sure they will do all they can to help you in your cause. As a token of our appreciation, I'd like to present you with our Peace Poster plaque as a memento and a thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much. Truly appreciate it.
More than a quarter of a century ago, Lions Clubs International created the Peace Poster contest for youth. The concept took off and never slowed down, making it one of our most popular programs. In recent years, we've expanded the program to include young people who are blind and visually impaired through the Lions International Essay Competition. This year, participants of both contests were asked to reflect upon the theme, our world, our future. Now let's take a closer look at our essay contest.
Children around the world think peace looks like this. But what about children with visual impairments? What do they think? What does peace sound like? Or feel like? To children who rely on their other senses to interpret the world.
I am blind, however, I have senses that make me see a clear vision for world peace.
Writing their thoughts as part of the Lions International Essay Contest allows blind and visually impaired children to share their impressions of peace.
Para mí la paz es estar juntos entre amigos, nunca pelear, jamás.
Peace is serenity.
La paz es amor.
The Lions International Essay Contest gives a platform so that young blind people can express their views on world peace.
Peace can help clean up our beaches.
Through this annual competition, Lions give these children a voice.
My dream is that the world will come together and everyone will get involved in making this world more peaceful.
I think Lions should keep doing the essay because it gives visually impaired people a chance to do what the sighted people are doing. It treats them like an equal.
Estar juntos, unidos.
The essay contest recognizes the talents of these students, giving them an opportunity to shine.
Peace can generate through brotherhood and mutual understanding with each other. We should have a feeling of we all are one. Let's all spread peace.
Reach out to visually impaired children in your community. To learn how to get involved in this contest, visit lionsclubs.org/essay contest.
Lions, join me in welcoming to the stage this year's grand prize winner from Nepal, Ashish Kaki. He was sponsored by the Kathmandu Ratchip Lions Club. Welcome. He receives a $5,000 US check for winning the award, as did the winner of the Peace Poster contest. Ashish, I'm delighted to present you with your award. And I got to tell you, it's written in Braille. Thank you, Ashish, and if you want to... You're an inspiration to us, and we wish you all the best. Thank you for joining us today. Ashish will be in the exhibition hall this afternoon to meet and greet near the Peace Poster exhibit. So if you want to go and see him, that's where he'll be. His winning essay can also be found on the Lions Club's international website. Now we'd like to turn your attention to the Peace Poster contest.
Begins in our minds,
where anything is possible.
Kids have dreams and ideas.
And through art, we express and share our vision of peace.
I feel that it's important that we kids can express our vision of peace because sometimes adults think that we're powerless and we can't do much, but sometimes we're even more powerful than that.
If you've lived through a lot of stuff, it can kind of change your viewpoints and make things biased, but when you're a kid, you're still learning about the world, so you have this great, clear idea of what peace is that some adults have lost.
Everybody has a say in peace in the world. Everybody has a say in what's to become of the community.
What is peace?
It's something that everyone has to believe in.
To have everyone come together and unite.
Yeah, no fighting and no wars.
What does peace look like?
Everybody has a different vision of peace.
I start with a light pencil draft of the center of the planet.
The handshake is for friendship.
The peace sign is made up of flags around the world, so it kind of shows like peace on earth.
The puzzle pieces are separated because the world isn't fully united yet.
We can make a difference in the world.
If we try hard enough, we can have peace.
Optimism, I say, is the key because positive thoughts mean positive actions means a positive world.
I think if we all work together, we will have peace.
One kid's nice to the next, that might keep going on and on. If a chain reaction starts, then the world just might become a more peaceful place and adults might catch on to it.
It's all the same idea, but everybody sees it in a different way. Even though it's all different, it's all kind of the same dream.
Lions, please join me in welcoming the grand prize winner for 2013-14 Peace Poster Contest, Kabran Mahesh Singh, who is sponsored by the Morang Lions Club of India. It's a pleasure to honour you with this award.
I'm happy to tell you that he's told me that he's donating a portion of his award to an orphanage where his sisters live. That's great, Tobram. Thank you. I first met him yesterday for breakfast, and he was a very shy young man. 48 hours later, he's on stage waving and carrying. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Also in the exhibit hall this afternoon between 2:30 and 3:30 to sign reproductions of the winning poster. And the posters are available for a donation to LCIF, and it's got to be more than $1. Thank you. Okay. While you're in the hall, be sure to visit the Peace Poster exhibit to see this year's grand prize and merit award winners' posters on display. Lions, I encourage you to continue to support these two great Lions Club contests that allow Lions clubs to connect with students and share their ideas with the world. Peace, love and understanding is the 2014-2015 contest theme. Lions, it's been a wonderful year for me as your president, and I'd like to share some of the highlights of just what has happened this year. Please watch the big screen. If we can dream it, we can do it. Follow your dreams this year, don't settle for anything less. Keep the dream in your pocket. 1, 2, 3.
It's great for the Wisconsin Lions to be involved in a big statewide project like this. You've got to have big dreams. They thought they'd get 10 clubs involved and end up with 75. Just ask, and clubs respond, and they love to get out into the public and help less fortunate kids.
Lions, my challenge to you is to get one new member each so that we can have more hands to do more work.
I promise to recruit one new member this year. I promise to recruit 6 new members.
Prometo traer al menos un socio nuevo este año.
One of the things we don't do is ask. We launched the Just Ask campaign to help your clubs to grow bigger. One of the great joys of this year was to be part of the chartering of new clubs and the inductions of new members. You promised me, and you are delivering. I'm amazed at the number of projects that are extending a hand to children. As you know, disadvantaged children are my passion, and it's great to see so many of you helping these young children. I thought it was important this year to do free screenings for the local Indigenous people and help the community around the Port Douglas area with an ambulance to transport people to the hospital. When we went to Kuranda, we were welcomed there by some Aboriginal dancers. They have chartered a new Lions Club to help young Indigenous boys learn to become rangers in the rainforest. Sight is our signature project, but there are many health programs that we are involved with to bring a better standard of health to all people. Lions, I've challenged you this year to empower women, to attract more women to this organisation, to put more women into leadership positions. You come up with some different creative ideas and thoughts and leadership styles. I met with a lot of women groups around the world. I learned a great deal from these women who are trying to make this a better organisation. The relay lunch came from an idea I got sitting with 100 women for lunch in Bogota, Colombia. I thought, what if we could take this all around the world? When you bring your family and your friends to have a meal with your Lions Club and to learn about what this organisation does. They usually want to become part of it, so that's why we're encouraging you to have Family and Friends Month in April. It's important we share our dream. If you share a dream, then you've got to make that dream come true. this year's Rose Parade in California was dreams come true. The Lions float was Mateo's dream. The stars seem to line up with Follow Your Dream, Mateo's dream and Dreams Come True, and the Lions Float won an award. The emotional part was meeting Mateo's family and just listening to what Mateo wanted and how it was achieved. Lions Day at the UN was an inspiration. We covered a lot of subjects like literacy, the environment, water, and what we can do with microfinance to help poverty. We have been developing a new initiative in microfinance, particularly for the rural, poor areas of the world, where women who really want to earn an income are not able to. But with the assistance of microfinance, they can. I challenge you to bring in more Leos, and what a privilege it's been to charter Leo clubs all around the world. One of the great things about meeting with the Leos is their enthusiasm, not only for this organisation, but for the projects they undertake. My district governors, you've been outstanding. It was a great opportunity this year to meet with the club presidents all around the world. It's always great to meet with countries' leaders, government officials, and talk to them about what Lions does in their community. Government can't do it all, Lions can't do it all, but together as a team we can accomplish a lot more. With social media, we're able to get the message of Lions out to more people more easily. People say to me they're too busy, they can't do it. I'm on the road 350 days this year, and if I can do it, you can do it. Just do it, Lions.
How do you think Lions could help?
People laugh at me when I'm travelling around with the iPad taking photographs or getting others to take videos for me. But we've been posting these on Facebook.
What made you join Lions?
They've been great for the Lions who have often commented they feel that they're with me travelling around the world. It was great to see how many environmental projects that Lions become involved with all around the world, from planting of trees to recycling paper, making this planet a better place.
Nous servons. Nós servimos.
Lions are making a huge impact on literacy in all parts of the world. One of the greatest joys Anne and I had during this year was to sit in schoolrooms and have the children sit around while we read to them.
So the elephant stretched out his trunk, see?
But the funny part was they knew the stories and they were telling me if I made mistakes.
How many chasing him now? 4, yeah?
I've seen the landscape of the world, and to see some of the beauty of this world has really been an inspiration. We have made a lot of friends around the world, and we have enjoyed the experience of sharing the cultures and customs with the local Lions. It's been a privilege for me to see and experience your dreams, your ideas, your projects all around the world that all began with a dream. I'm so proud of all of you in the work that you're doing to ease suffering all around the world. This has been an incredible experience to be able to follow my dream of being your leader for 12 months. It's more than I could have dreamed of. Thank you, Lions.
Immediate past International President Madden, executive officers, members of the board, distinguished past presidents of Lions, Lionesses and Leos, and your guests. I come from a land down under, and let me say this to you, g'day. I feel so much at home here with all the ethnic diversity and the friendliness, but particularly the can-do spirit. Toronto is a real lion in city, is a real lion in every way. I won't keep you long. I want to talk to you about dreams. I've been sharing my messages following your dream on Facebook this year. Let me share just a few examples. Facebook is a great tool for advancing our service, but it's fun too. And I think you'll also get a little feel for my Aussie humour and can-do spirit. I've urged Lions not to wait for your ship to come in, but swim out and meet it. Lions, our dreams are there to reach, to hold and to realise. It's just a matter of waking up to them. It's not that we can't follow our dreams, but first we need the attitude of optimism. And these images are fun to look at and fun to post. I was very active on Facebook, but let's not forget the larger point. Social media is a great way to get the word out on Lions. I've heard Lions say, Lions are the best kept secret. I cringe when I hear that. There's no reason for all that. With all the technology that we have at our disposal, I'll encourage all of you and your clubs to have a Facebook page. Lions, I was not an English major in school, but I did pay attention occasionally. The great English writer T.S. Eliot told us, only those who risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go. And how true. It's dreams we must follow. Our dreams take us far beyond what we thought was possible. We can learn a thing or two from Hollywood and movies, the stuff of dreams.
Nothing's impossible. If it can be dreamed, it can be done. He has to follow his dreams. Gosh darn the consequences.
Jamal Malik, you're on a dream run.
And all because a few starry-eyed dreamers like Peter Bailey.
Oh, let me help you, George Washington. I still want to help you. I want to help you, George Washington. Maybe your dreams are square.
Whoa.
You just dream your way out of Colwood, Homer.
I can't even begin to tell you how proud of you I've been these past weeks. I mean, you've just been doing a hell of a job in that mine.
Coal mine's your life. It's not mine. I'm never going down there again. I want to go into space.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. All right? You got a dream, you got to protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period.
Follow your dream.
Lions, I have a confession to make. I know it's Sunday, but I'm still going to make a confession. I've urged you to follow your dreams. Well, I visited dozens of nations this year and met with thousands of Lions, and many of them are here. I've learned hundreds upon hundreds of local projects and the things you do. Lions, you have been following your dream. In France, I visited the Institut de Pons Alex et Provence, where Lions support a group that helps intellectual disabilities, people with them. The students make pottery and earn some money and a lot of self-esteem. Well done, Lions of France. Merci beaucoup. In Iceland, There is a rainforest. Lions there are helping to save the planet. I was the 15th international president to plant a tree there. And I've got to tell you, the other 14 presidents, it's still there. Yours is still there. What a great tradition. In Bangalore, India, Lions had a dream way back in 1984. People were not getting eye care or health care, and children were blind and visually impaired who shouldn't be. Mums and dads could not take care of their families because they couldn't see. This place Lions built was a great name, the B.W. Lions Super Specialty Eye Hospital, and it's super special. Thank you to the Lions of India. And that's what Lions are all about. I knew, of course, before I was president, that Lions projects are innovative, transformative, and just plain amazing. This year I saw all of this with my own eyes. You know about blood banks and eye banks, but I came across one that's a milk bank, supported by Lions for the babies of mothers who can't produce milk. In Indonesia, a doctor sails a ship to remote islands. Without him, people would get no medical care. Who makes this possible? The Lions, of course. There is one thing I saw that was extremely encouraging, and I'm not talking about a particular project, I'm talking about a particular age group. Lions, I love you, you're great. Leos, I adore you. You never stop moving. You never stop smiling. You never stop dreaming. Your big dreams dwarf mine. We are in great shape with our future because of Leos. Speaking of youth, I think the most touching moment I had in my travels was to meet a young boy from South America. And I'd like you to meet him on the video.
Nearly half of the world's children live in poverty. 12-year-old Melvin knows what that feels like. He lives with his grandmother in an impoverished community where poor living conditions result in health issues such as tuberculosis, chronic respiratory, and digestive problems. Lions helped establish the Melvin Jones Health Center near Trujillo, Peru, more than 10 years ago.
This 24-hour health center is the only one of its kind, helping people who don't have resources to pay for the services they need.
300 patients are seen every day for general medicine, pediatrics, emergency care, and childbirth. Lions are as proud of the center today as they were the day it opened in 2002. The same day that Melvin Jones Gil Garcia was born.
Melvin Jones fue el primer niño que nació.
Melvin was the first baby born in our center on the day of inauguration. As a symbol of gratitude to the Lions, the mother decided to name him Melvin Jones. Lions wanted to find Melvin for the international president's visit. And that's when they discovered his parents abandoned him, and he was no longer in school.
My only income is selling recycling materials to support my grandson and the rest of the family. I wanted him to go back to school, but I couldn't afford it because my daughter was very sick and I needed to help her with the doctor's bills.
When International President Barry Palmer met Melvin and heard his story, he thought, what if Lions helped him to return to school? He knew Lions could make a difference in his life.
Lions accepted the challenge to help Melvin with his education through secondary school. We started getting to know Melvin and set up the psychological and health evaluations he needed.
Melvin was malnourished, and knowing that hungry children do not learn well, Lions arranged to have him receive breakfast and lunch at the home of his neighbors, the Garcia family.
In the beginning, Melvin was shy and didn't communicate well. Now he's more talkative and has put on some weight.
Lions provided his uniform, backpack, books, and school supplies, and helped re-enroll him in school. He was placed in grade 2.
Melvin was at a much lower level than the other students, but he has advanced a lot. We consider this a great accomplishment.
Lions arranged for the Garcias to tutor Melvin.
He's learning at a steady pace and retaining what he learns.
He is studying math and reading, but also learning to work with computers.
Knowing how to use these devices is essential to perform well as students and later as professionals.
He's changed 100%. He's happy now. I feel like this is a dream. Finally, my grandson has an opportunity for a better life.
Lions are extending support to all children by donating books, reading with students, and expanding the Lions Quest program that teaches character education and life skills in a fun and interactive way.
Education is important. It's like a passport that opens the doors to the world.
Now the door is open for Melvin to follow his dream.
Unfortunately, Melvin couldn't be here today, and that was one of my dreams. His translator couldn't get a visa. But I want you to know that Lions Clubs International will make a gift of sporting equipment to his school so that his schoolmates can also enjoy sports as much as he does. Not only that, I want to thank Dane LaJoya from the PR department and the chairman, Sangita, because when I told them the story, I said I need $10,000 to guarantee his education. And they said, yep, we'll do it. So Lions, thank you. At our UN Day in New York, Nobel Peace Prize winner Adil Najam spoke eloquently about protecting the environment, which lions everywhere are doing. One of our goals this year was microfinance. We wanted to encourage Lions to support programs where people can get small loans to start a small business and break the cycle of poverty. Lions are doing a great job supporting microfinance enterprises. In Calcutta, India, as just one example, where we started with 500 women, and now we're helping more than 700 women 12 months later break free from poverty through their own skills and drive and businesses. If we had all day, we go on all the outstanding projects that Lions around the world do. But let me now just focus on two extraordinary efforts where they're making dreams come true. This year, instead of sending to clubs letters about entering your projects into competitions, I said to PR, I will look at the projects as I go around and I'll just pick two. The Sichuan earthquake in 2008 was absolutely devastating. It killed more than 70,000 people and left more than 5 million homeless. The Lions of China were magnificent. They rebuilt Henghua village and another village. Thank you, Lions of China. Beside the homes they built schools, a hospital, and a seniors' home. They help multitudes of people get back on their feet and get on with their lives. Accepting the Making Our Dreams Come True award are several district governors from China who contributed to the earthquake. And I'd like my wife to join me up here. A few. And we got everyone from China here, Tam. Hello. I love you too. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Fortunate to visit Sichuan and see firsthand exactly what these guys have done. And it's amazing. A few weeks ago, I received an email from the spouses of the district governor in Nigeria. Nigeria. She told me that she was inspired by my wife, who had challenged the partners of the district governors to have a project at last year's convention in Hamburg and to follow their dream and be involved in their spouses in service. So Kofi Woolu, Jada Jedi, the wife of Ulam Uiwa, the district governor of 404A1, packed 1,200 bags of rice and gave them to elderly single mothers and widows. And she persuaded the wife of the state governor to also bag rice for the needy. See, you can indeed follow your dream. Thank you. Governor, thank you. And I'll ask my wife to present her with the award. I think it was your idea.
Sister allows to follow their dreams. To ensure their dreams are realized. I have this for you on the own. This for everyone Nigeria and
Thank you. Thank you very much. A Lifetime Dreamers Award. Looks like we've got to keep going. Any dreams about Lions must encompass membership. One of our dreams was to increase the female membership with an ultimate goal to have a 50-50 ratio by 2017. A year ago, women were 24.1% of Lions membership. So how have we done, Lions? We've made great progress towards our ultimate dream of 50% female membership. We have more positive news on membership. The average charter size of a new club is now 31, up 5, and the best in the last 20 years. That's very significant because our research has showed us the larger the charter size of the club, the more likely it is to last. You'll also be happy to know we've now reached 46,385 clubs. That's 150 more in the 1 year. And that's the best in more than 20 years. So now, the big question overall is how are we doing on membership? Lions, we've been stuck on 1.35 million for the past 8 years. It's always been habit to say 1.35. So I asked you, Lions, it is a lifetime or is it time to move the needle? Let's do it.
Thank you, Lions. That's the best end-of-year result in 10 years. You've just been outstanding. It's a group effort. Our records show that 47% of you have sponsored a new member and helped charter new clubs this year. So congratulations to all of you for your dedication as Lions. But I want to especially recognise our district governors because they've worked extremely hard this year, particularly on membership. Thank you, governors. Some governors, of course, particularly distinguished themselves, but you all made a great effort. Thank you. Give them another applause. We set up the Dream Achiever Awards for them. We asked them to focus on 4 areas: chartering of new clubs, to add new members, to retain existing members, and to grow the overall membership. And they earned stars depending on how they did in each of the 4 quarters, or 4 areas. It wasn't easier to meet this criteria, but they did it. Many governors met some of the criteria of their Dream Achievers Awards. Please stand and be recognised if you earned a Dream Achiever Award. Great job, governors. Now, 5 district governors earned 4 gold stars for their Dream Achiever Awards. They are our top 5 Dream Achievers. They made membership dreams come true. They served our association by making it stronger. Their service will enable clubs and districts to deepen and broaden their service. 4 of those 5 are here with us today, and I would like to present presidential medals to Ronnie Martin of the United States, Lee Ta-Xiong Lee from China, Rama Vaital Bahar of India, and Tai Li of China. He's my man. He's always telling me he loves me. Today's my birthday. Your birthday? Wow. Birthday gift. Today is his birthday. Okay, thank you. The other one went to Deepak Bhattacharya of India. He couldn't be with us today. So thank you, District Governor. You are exemplary Lions in every way. When it comes to membership, we've always had to be ready to invite prospective members and to make them feel welcome when they join. And we've been very recently added 2 new clubs in Canada. I want to recognise them and warmly welcome because I chartered them last week. To help me do that, I've asked past International President Ryan Stevenson from Canada. And of course, Terry Graham of Canada also been instrumental in helping us. And our District Governor, 711 Governor. Thank you, Peter. Let's first welcome members of the Brampton Mount Everest Lions Club. Both these clubs have just chartered in June with 23 members, and the club president is
the President, I'd like to present you with your bell and gavel. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you for coming here today and joining with us in this celebration. Thank you, guys. The second club is Toronto Oriental Club. Good to see you. Hello. Welcome. You're all so young. You're all young. President? Yes. There's only you and me can be called President. Congratulations, Mr. President. And there's your bell and your gavel. Do it again. That's it. That's yours.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Right. Yeah. This club chartered also just recently, and with 20 new members. So, thank you, guys. Thank you, Terry and Governor. Thank you. I said to the judge, if you get Canada in plus, I'll get you on stage. He didn't know how I was going to do it. One of the innovative projects we did this year was a World Lunch Relay. This was a dream that came true, as you saw in the video. Starting with clubs in New Zealand, kicked it off with a lunch at noon, and then in different time zones around the world, Lions sat down for lunch. They shared a fellowship with prospective members. It gave them a taste of Lions. Many clubs did service work as part of it. I want to tell you, more than 2,200 clubs and nearly 200,000 people took part in that lunch. But something else happened on our lunch relay day. Husbands who are Lions. If you ever want to put on a World Lunch Relay, and it just happens to be on your wife's birthday, don't just buy her a toaster or give her some flowers. Take her to lunch with 200,000 people. Take this occasion to wish her a happy birthday, and that's what many clubs did, and was thrilled, and so was I. Lions are good about not reinventing the wheel. We stick with what works. And for the past few years, we've been taking part in our global service action campaigns. Once again this year, we succeeded all expectations in serving youth, improving vision, feeding the hungry, and improving our environment. I don't really think a speaker should recite what's on the screen, but these numbers are so impressive. I will. Engaging our youth campaigns in August served 822,112 youths as Lions tallied 646,193 service hours. Congratulations, Lions. But you didn't stop there. Sharing the Vision campaign in October served 1,019,803 people. And the Lions total 394,523 service hours. Again, another great result. And the Hunger campaign in December and January was even more impressive. Lions served 2,008,243 people through 511,230 service hours. And that's awesome. And now, this, for an environmental campaign in April, 405,000 service hours. Lions, I salute you. You made this year incredible, meaningful, and memorable for Anne and I. And we're going to hear a little song now from a singer, Hoi Yun Su, who I met in Hong Kong in a 14-hour stopover. I'm going to come down while she sings. It's time to say goodbye and shake hands with some of the Lions
さよならを言う時という題です。